Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Glam Cam, and today we're going to cover a story, and we're also going to cover some pieces and information of this story. Now, beautiful SADE Robinson. We're going to cover the beautiful SADE Robinson, a young lady that we're all hoping for justice for. We're all wanting her to rest peacefully. She did not deserve what happened to her. She had a lot of great things going for herself. So before we get started, click like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Fair warning, some things that we will discuss in this video could be a tad graphic in detail. So that's just a fair warning. Other than that, with this video, it's more of awareness, because SADE Robinson, she needs to be spoken about. And I'm going to cover the first day of the Eerie bar. In this case here, it touches my heart. It touches me. I'm hearing about SADE Robinson. It touches a lot of us. We all want to see justice for SADE and her family and her loved ones and us that care. We want justice for SADE. We don't want to let up on nothing with this case. And just as well as us content creators or people out in the world, us all that's listening, her family, friends, loved ones, even the detectives working on the case want justice for SADE. And we don't want nothing slipping through the creaks and cracks of this case to get overlooked or to get thrown out to this man that's Maxwell Anderson. We don't want him on the streets at all. So let's just get a recap. So SADE Robinson, born May 10th. She would have been 21 years old. So before SADE passed, she was just about to have a birthday coming up to the point she'll be 20 years old. Her parents are Sheena and Carlos. SADE Robinson was 19 years old, April 1st, 2024, when all of this happened to her, when a day that she looked forward to, a day she was excited about, to the point she told one of the employees of her apartment that she was excited about her date later that day. Seemed like many people was very fond of SADE and spoke very positively about her. She was an employee at the Pizza Shuttle. They even put up a beautiful mural of SADE on the wall outside. And it's in the beginning of the video. I'm going to put it at the end as well. So beautiful. SADE also was a student of Milwaukee Area Technical College studying criminal justice. And all of that there shows that SADE Robinson had a great personality, smart, and also beautiful. And she had friends and people that adored and loved her. Now, SADE Robinson, I'm not sure how she met Maxwell Anderson. It's allegedly she met him at the Victor's nightclub. It's also alleged that she met him online. Now, Maxwell Anderson, he was 33 at the time. He also served in the Navy before between 2011 and 2012, but his departure remained unclear of why he's not in the Navy anymore. Maxwell Anderson also worked at Twisted Fisherman before, and then he also worked at like another bar previously. But it said that Victor's nightclub was his most recent, and Twisted Fisherman as well. He do have a prior record of assaulting basically his family members or so, disorderly conduct. You know, he's snatching people's phones out of their hands, being very aggressive and combative with his family members. And they have not touched bases on talking to many of the family members of his anger or his outburst or that inner demon that he placed amongst the world. Because see, Maxwell Anderson, he's living a demonic forced life. Now, these photos here is the day that Sade Robinson left for her first date with Maxwell Anderson. April 1st, 2024. Now, I need you guys to continue watching the video because we're going to watch the video of Sade Robinson and Maxwell Anderson in The Twisted Fisherman. It's an eerie video of the final hours before Sade Robinson passed away. Then I'm also going to have postings of the recaps of what took place, of details of that night. Now, this is a bone-chilling video that's going to be shown. And before we get into the video, I want you guys to look at these pictures of just how the Twisted Fisherman look inside. Then I'm also going to show the video of the surrounding of the Twisted Fisherman. So you can get a feel of that same night that it took place when Sade Robinson met up with Maxwell Anderson that night. It was a bartender named Brian Colverden. And I don't really know how to say his last name, so I'll say Brian C. Now, this bartender, he is very eerie. He gives off a very eerie vibe. And the way that he's vibing with Sade is so spooky. It's like he's trying to win her over. It's like he's so happy that Maxwell lucked up on someone to bring. I think the bartender, allegedly, he plays a big part in this. He plays a big part in this. I want you guys to pay attention how Maxwell is not showing any interest in Sade that night for his first time meeting her. No interest. I don't really understand what Sade, may she rest in peace, seen in Maxwell. He had that look in his eyes, and I wish she was able and showed her friends and family who she was going out with that night, so someone can detect that no, honey. See, he wasn't giving no Robin Thicke. He wasn't giving no John B. or nothing like that. He gave evil murderer. He ignored that lady. The night they walked out of Twisted Fisherman, he barely held the door open for her. Allegedly, he told her, they were going to meet up somewhere else, but allegedly he told her, let's do Twisted Fisherman instead because I got to pick up my W-2s. Okay, so when the video come on, the bartender, he's already sitting behind the bar. Maxwell just walks in there like you would have just thought that was someone drinking and just sitting at the bar. But trust, Maxwell and Bryant, they already discussed what was going to take place. This wasn't a one person show because they could not find any blood that was related to Sade inside of Maxwell Anderson home. That only leads me to think he plays a big part in it, Brian, because Twisted Fisherman hours are only from like 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Right? So we want to get to this part first of showing the surroundings of Twisted Fisherman. So please make sure you pay attention to this. Okay? And then we're going to get into the Eerie video where the beautiful, lovely Sade Robinson was last seen in action with someone that was so evil that wanted to hurt her and unalive her that night. So check this out, y'all. This is Twisted Fisherman right here. Now, this area alone don't even look like a nice, inviting place for a first date. Get what I'm saying? Now, Twisted Fisherman hours are very small. They close at 10 p.m. So it's like 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's their hours. But just look at the environment alone. It just don't look like an inviting place for a first date. This man being 33, this young lady being 19. Just look out there. Look at the scenery. It just ain't given. And I guess you go back there to park. It looks like it. Or maybe this way in the front. Okay, so here's the hours of the Twisted Fisherman. So now we're going to be getting into the Eerie video. But prior to what we're going to see, SADE on April 1st sent Maxwell a text at 4:15 p.m. And that was to arrange to go to Twisted Fisherman. Mind you, they was going to meet up somewhere else at first, but then Maxwell switched it to Twisted Fisherman, basing it on the W-2s. So SADE didn't get to Twisted Fisherman till around 5-ish. So with us seeing the hours on a Monday at Twisted Fisherman, we see they close at 10 p.m. So SADE and Maxwell, they only stayed at Twisted Fisherman till about 6-something p.m. before they headed to Duke's on the Water. So while they're at Twisted Fisherman, that gives enough time for Brian C. to fill out SADE's aura, and he's engaging with her, and he's pouring them up shots just willingly, and he's taking shots as well. SADE did not engage as many shots, but it seemed like once Maxwell had his beers and shots, then he want to make small talk here and there with SADE. So what I'm saying is basically they left Twisted Fisherman to go to Duke's on the Water, and they stayed there at Duke's on the Water till about 9-something p.m. So that gives Brian enough time to get off work and help Maxwell out, because he get off at 10. He cleans up, and they didn't have many customers that day, and he leaves because Maxwell's phone only stayed on, only pending for a certain amount of time when they arrived to Maxwell's house, SADE and Maxwell. Between this bartender Brian and Maxwell neighbor, it just don't sit well with me of how they mentioned that 2 people entered Maxwell's home and 1 person came out. See, they didn't check the other footage all the way around, so I'm not going to allow them to play games with this case. That Life 360 app have helped a critical role in cracking the case. So that's a blessing that SADE had that on her phone. Because it's no telling how long Maxwell been doing this, or allegedly Brian participating, or the neighbor. It's no telling how long that they thought they had it all mapped out, not knowing she had that Life 360 app. Now we're going to get into the Eerie bar footage of the last moments of SADE Robinson. So really just pay attention to the bartender, pay attention to Maxwell Anderson, all the details. It's bone chilling to me.
That is correct.
And what were you able to observe that he's wearing?
Mr. Anderson's wearing a black in color Carhartt t-shirt, appears to be wearing a red in color flannel over that t-shirt, and blue jeans. And his hairstyle is in a bun fashion.
I'm going to fast forward briefly. The clip picks up at what time, Detective?
1719 hours, which again is 5:19 p.m.
Okay, so this is about 9 to 10 minutes after he arrived.
That's correct, yes.
He's seated alone at the bar. and that employee is now moved behind the bar, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Playing that clip in fast forward. And what is Mr. Anderson, what has he ordered that you can see?
It appears that he just ordered a beer.
Okay.
That is 17:21 hours on the footage, so 5:21 p.m.
And at this time, someone is seated next to Mr. Anderson now, correct?
That's correct, yes.
I'm going to go back out, playing the video. It ends in arriving Twisted Fisherman. Play that from the beginning. Pause that clip at 16 seconds. What did we just observe?
We observed SADE Robinson walking into the Twisted Fisherman from the east.
And that was at about 5:20?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So by 5:21, they're seated together at the bar.
Correct.
All right, that last clip for the record picks up at 17:21:40 is the timestamp on it. That's how I'm going to keep the record of the clips we're watching. And they're just sitting there next to each other. It's not even talking at that point, right?
That is correct, yes.
Eventually, did they get food,
Yes.
drinks?
Correct, yes.
I'm going to pull up a clip. What time does this clip start, Detective?
17:42 hours, which again, 5:42 p.m.
And by this time, by 5:42, they're eating food, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because at the end of each approach, it was amazing. I saw that. Here's what I thought.
Happening in that clip.
It appears that they're just having a casual conversation with the bartender, and the bartender later pours out a shot.
The next clip picks up at what time?
17:44 hours, 5:44 p.m.
In 20 seconds.
Correct.
Playing this clip.
I've been there with some really, really good people. So,
All right. And in that clip, did all three of them do the shot together?
That's correct. I believe I heard the bartender say cheers, which then preceded them to all do the shot together, yes.
And Sade has what appears to be in front of her some kind of food, and then there looks like there's a cocktail and perhaps a water.
That's fair, yes.
Okay. The next clip I'm playing picks up at 5:48:26, and again, that shot that they did was at 5:44.
Correct.
Okay.
They smell so good though. I'm like, I can't. It's unworking. So. At the end. Oh, at the end. So. Yeah, so. My two chefs at the station. Yeah, you would be not. We didn't have a bowl. I'm going to go in the kitchen. We're going to have a bowl and fill up the muscle.
In that clip, what happens?
It appears that Mr. Anderson briefly steps away to possibly use the restroom, and then in the meantime, Miss Robinson is just having casual conversation with the bartender.
Next clip I have up starts at what time?
17:58 hours, which is 5:58 p.m.
Honestly, I can't even finish this. No? No? No. My number one. It's that ball. Hey, it's part of the game. And I really don't want to pause, so.
This picks up to the second detective.
1800 hours, 47 seconds, which 6 p.m.
But my friends that are not in the industry don't understand that.
Paused that clip at 15 seconds. Bartender gives another beer to Mr. Anderson.
That is correct, yes.
That's his way. Always try to the back of my left hand is just I cannot put as much What's that? I think it's the weather station because I so I think what I do is when I put the socks
Which is 6:02 p.m.
It's right where the last one left off.
That is correct.
Are you sure? Hold on, good shit.
Paused at 22 seconds in this first part of the clip. It looks like Mr. Calvert and Mr. Anderson do like a fist bump, right?
Correct, yes.
And then it seems he's offering up another shot, correct?
Correct.
How does SADE respond to that?
Believe she,
That we just saw.
I believe she declines it.
Okay, I'll play it again. I'm going back to 9 seconds. Paused at 32 seconds. Were you able to tell there?
Yeah, so it appears that the bartender puts down 2 shot glasses. And when he puts down the shot glass in front of Miss Robinson, she kind of makes like a right hand motion indicating that she's declining it.
And what does the bartender do with the shot glass?
I believe, I'm not exactly sure what he did with hers.
Okay, I'll back it up here. Playing from 12 seconds. Did you see it there?
I did, yes. He physically picks up the shot glass and puts it in front of Mr. Anderson.
Playing at 26.
Yeah, actually, I can make you all Charlie Fisher shot. Go on. Okay, just gonna take yeah, I want to go. I see multiple restaurants. I swear to God, the restaurants I'm doing. Yeah, I want to go. Why do you restaurants? The worst weed I've ever smoked. I go. They're like water in Milwaukee, and so that.
All right, I paused it just before the end of the clip. The timestamp is what?
18:04 hours and 52 seconds.
Okay, sorry, I pulled it away before you could read it. The next clip picks up at what time?
18:04 hours and 54 seconds.
How you doing, darling? Meet you, Maxwell. Pleasure to see you. Like I said, I talked to you as well, but I was not bad. Yeah. Young ladies,
Just ended. That was about a 2-minute clip, give or take. What did we observe?
Observed the bartender make some type of alcoholic beverage, and then the three of them, he pours the beverage into 3 shot glasses, and the 3 of them do the shot together.
Okay, so he gives that shot to both Shot A and Mr. Anderson.
That's correct, yes.
What time do we got?
21 hours and 16 seconds.
All right, so just a few minutes after they just did the other shot.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a really cool vibe. Like craft cocktails. Yeah, I have not been disappointed though. So, alright, not wrong. Sure. Okay, excellent. So, good to see you. So,
All right, that clip looks like they're getting up to leave.
That's correct, yes.
I'm gonna go to the next clip. Does this one pick up right where the other one just left off, or at least appear to?
That's correct, yes, at 23 hours and 21 seconds.
So many guys you do well. Yeah, no, seriously. Hey, if you ever I know, don't talk us down, but we're all conservative marketers. And it says, you know, everywhere you go. Yeah, I've been fine. Right? Great guy, there we go. So, anytime, guys. Good luck, guys. You too.
Twisted Fisherman, what camera are we looking at here?
We're looking at the exit/entrance camera to the east, which shows out towards the parking lot.
And the timestamp, April 1st, 2024, what time?
24 hours and 20 seconds.
And In that clip, they leave, they're exiting to the east, and then they turn the corner of the building, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So in some, Detective Mr. Anderson arrives at about 5:09 p.m.
Correct.
Miss Robinson at roughly 5:20.
Correct, yes.
They sit there next to each other at the bar.
Correct.
They eat.
Correct.
They have drinks
Correct.
and 2 shots total.
Correct, yes.
And at 6:24, they get up and leave together.
That is correct, yes.
Did you have another detective check and see if there was other video of them leaving near the We Energies facilities near that location?
That is correct. That was Detective Joe Belanger.
Okay.
Just to recap, the two of them basically just hung out at Twisted Fisherman.
I would classify that as yes. They just had casual conversation from what it appeared.
And the guy you mentioned before is named Brian Culvert, right? That's somebody you talked about?
That's correct, yes.
Because you questioned him?
I interviewed him.
And he's the guy that was working behind the bar?
Correct, yes.
You've watched all these tapes before court here today, obviously, on other occasions.
That's correct, yes.
And Mr. Culvert appears friendly with Max Anderson, doesn't he?
That is correct, yes.
Calls him an incredible guy.
I don't recall hearing that.
Well, at the end, he says, Max, so good to see you, as he's shaking his hand and leaning across the bar. You saw that?
I saw that. I didn't hear that.
Oh, you didn't hear either of those things?
I heard the name Max. I didn't hear the incredible guy portion.
Okay. Who carded Sade?
I don't believe she was carded.
Did they ever ask her age or anything?
Objection relevance.
Well, they just spent all this time talking about shots.
It's
fine.
I'll withdraw the objection.
Allowed to answer.
Could you just ask your question one more time?
Was she carded
I don't believe so.
or asked to provide any identification at all from what you saw?
From what I saw, I don't believe so.
And it looks to me like Brian Culvert is just on his own pouring shots for people.
I'm going to object to this line of questioning at this point. If we're getting into him serving her underage, it's not relevant to this trial
It
at all.
isn't relevant. I mean, you got in the part relative to the alcohol.
Well, you've testified on direct about shots being poured, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And my question about the shots, not about the underage aspect, my question about the shots is, did Max order those shots?
I don't know who ordered what shots.
Right. You don't hear anybody order those shots.
I don't believe so.
From what it appears, from what you watched, is that the bartender is just pouring them on his own volition, right?
That's correct. But again, I can hear some of the audio in the video. I can't hear all the audio in the video.
Right.
Correct, yes.
Each of them, from what you can tell?
From what I can tell, yes.
And it's clear to you, isn't it, that Max is known at this Twisted Fisherman place, right?
Yeah, it appears that him and the bartender know each other, yes.
Very friendly with each other.
I would say so, yes.
That's all.
State anything?
No.
Thank you.
Now we all just witnessed all the awkwardness at Twisted Fisherman. We seen how Maxwell just freely threw his tissue behind the bar, just walked behind there comfortably, meaning that him and Brian stay in touch a lot and they're very friendly with each other. We see how Brian was trying to throw Sade off by all the small talk, all the enthusiasticness, while Maxwell just sat there and be very strange and observe Sade. Now, this is Dukes on the Water. This is where they headed to after Twisted Fisherman. Now, Dukes on the Water is always open to 2 a.m. Sade's supposed to have been carded because she's 19. So the required age limit to drink at the bars in Milwaukee is 21. Usually Dukes on the Water is like given nightclub bar style. And around the time that Maxwell and Sade went, it was a Monday. So it was very laid back, very less crowd. And he went there to kill time until Brian got off work. I believe Maxwell got very uncomfortable when the customer came in, the black woman, and he did not want to prolong staying at that Twisted Fisherman because he know that that customer possibly could have picked up on anything, just the awkwardness. So he was on a mission to do horrific duties. All was on his mind that night was unaliving Sade. He was already plot twisting this from the start. Around 6:30 p.m. that night, Sade sends a Snapchat to a friend while she was at Duke's. I know the friend allegedly on the stand said she don't really remember any of that, but when they went through the downloads, that's what they seen. When they left Twisted Fisherman and arrived at Duke's, they was using Sade's car, which is very strange as well, but that's all a part of Maxwell's plans. After Duke's on the water, the surveillance showed like 2 people arriving at Maxwell home at the 3100 block of South 39th Street around 9:24 p.m. Sade's phone was also located by the GPS in that area of the home as well. Earlier that morning, like April 2nd, 2024, Sade's phone is located leaving Maxwell home, traveling throughout Milwaukee County. First stop like Pleasant Valley Park, and then Waremont Park and Cuddy, arriving around 2:45. And then the vehicle leaves that park around 4:31 a.m. And then Sade's phone had lost its battery. It was no longer able to track the phone. And later that morning, Sade's 2020 Honda Civic was found on fire in the 1800 block of North 29th Street. And witnesses saw that a male get out the vehicle and toss a lighter into it before walking away. This eerie photo right here shows Maxwell and Sade at Duke's on the water. And he's still giving awkwardness. He's just killing time to do the most unthinkable, horrific thing. Now, I just gave a quick timeline of what's going to take place after this. And I do have some video of some more details of what took place after Duke's on the water. But let me get into what the forensics said, because I did see a photo of the severed foot, which is too graphic to place on YouTube, but it is on Google. Something I didn't want to come across. And from what forensics said, from watching the case, the person that cut and detached Sade's ankle from her leg cut right in between the joints. So no bones were even broken. So this had to have been someone that is very skilled at doing something like that and done it before. Forensic also mentioned a right breast was severed from the torso. The torso was cut all the way to the pelvis with just the left arm attached. And as for the pieces of Sade's extremities, a leg was found first, April 2nd in Waremont Park. Then they found the torso and the arm in the shoreline of Lake Michigan. April 6th, a human foot was found that matched the leg near Kadati, in the area near where her car was found. Also found other human flesh in the area. And then May 11th, they found an arm that belonged to Sade that washed up on the shore. In Waukegan, Illinois, that's where they found the arm that washed up on the shore May 11th. Forensic also stated when they had received like the bones of the thighs, like the femur bone was so crushed, but the skin on top of the thigh didn't show any bruising. But she said it was such a blunt force that just comes from like fall type of trauma, like when you're falling from heights. So she just really don't understand how the femur broke. You know, how did they break Sade's femur? They did ask, was she deceased prior to all of this happening? And the forensics said, from the looks of it, yes, because they did not find like blood type of, matter inside. And that is so detailed and graphic. It was so horrific to hear those that, her break that down. Forensic also said they seen 7 stab wounds on the left side of the chest. So there was 1 foot gone, right arm was gone, one of the right breast, the head, both legs gone, the entire neck. So it's just so disturbing, and they don't know if she's been strangled or any of that yet until they retrieve the head. Though it was no blood found in Maxwell's home that belonged to Sade, He did have that creepy sex dungeon in his basement, and it is enough evidence to charge him for everything he's charged for. This man is very guilty. That was Maxwell and
Backing up to
Sade's car.
509
Now
and
this
playing
is
again.
Maxwell
That was paused
waiting
at
on the
590.
bus after those witnesses seen him throw that lighter into Sade's car and blow it up. Now that, look at him. He looks so distraught. He looked like he's done something that he shouldn't have done. It's all on him versus the demeanor we see in that Twisted Fisherman. And that's why I say two people involved, because between the times of 9-ish p.m. of going to his home, and between the time of, they saying one person walking out of his home, between the times of 4 a.m. and all the times he catching the bus, all of it was intentional, and he definitely had help with all of that to do something so severe and horrific in that amount of time. Here's the witness that seen the torch, and let's get in the other part of the case.
In Lisbon. Prosecutors say these two women in the area witnessed someone light a car on fire behind a nearby abandoned building. The one wearing blue flailing her arms, trying to get anyone's attention. A different angle shows someone with a large tan backpack walking away from the fire.
And when you arrived there, what did you observe?
A car burning behind the building located at 30th and Lisbon.
Firefighters just blocks away responding to it. Police body camera video capturing the severity of that fire. The front seats down to the frame. Just about every item inside charred and soaked. Maxwell Anderson, the man on trial accused of setting this fire, watching the video with a blank stare.
Super weird because that engine still looks like it's in pristine condition.
When I ran the license plate and the VIN of this motor vehicle, it listed to SADE Robinson.
Investigators on the stand Thursday describing what they found inside Robinson's burnt out trunk, her tattered black jacket, and her jeans inside out.
And Maxwell have the nerve to plead not guilty. But Maxwell has been charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating of a corpse, and arson of property. And all three charges are felonies and carry a combined maximum penalty of life in imprisonment. Also on a $5 million bond. So June 3rd, 2024, Sade estate and her mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Maxwell. Sade family alleges that Maxwell family later went to his home and threw away items inside the residence and then moved forward with selling it in effort to conceal and hide evidence. So yes, that sounds about right. Maxwell did all of that while he's in the jail. So now you're going to see the clips of when the news reporter approached the new buyers of Maxwell Anderson home.
Birds chirping overhead. Just last month, a different scene. Police tape surrounded the home as investigators hauled out evidence, looking for clues in the murder of Sade Robinson. The 19-year-old disappeared April 1st following a first date with the home's owner, Maxwell Anderson. Robinson's phone records show she spent 3 hours at the home that night. The next day, someone found her leg in Cudahy's Bournemount Park. Now, records show Anderson sold the home May 3rd while in jail, awaiting trial. Someone was inside Wednesday when we knocked, but they shut the door. Hi. And LCs for $195,000. Over the phone, Nanette Saunders, a representative for both of the LLCs involved in the sale, said, quote, "The significance of the house was a surprise to all of us. It's not that the seller was keeping it from us, we just didn't think much of it." Saunders went on to say, quote, "The day of closing is when everyone discovered the house was high profile because of all the pink things on the lawn, and there was a hole in the basement done by the authorities to open a sewer line." Meanwhile, the Milwaukee County Sheriff tells 12 News the sale will not impact the investigation, saying, quote, "If at any point investigators determine they need to re-enter the home, they will secure another search warrant and do so, no matter who owns the home."
Anderson's phone.
What's going on?
Confiscated at the time of his arrest, giving some insight into what happened inside his Southside home the night of April 1st, 2024.
So you were able to tell that in the 10 o'clock hour, it looks like on 5 occasions the camera on the phone was activated?
Correct.
Those images?
They are photos that I found within the download of Mr. Anderson's phone.
Way too graphic to show on television, but were shown to the jury Thursday. One depicting a person's bare backside with underwear and jeans pulled down.
Why was this of note to you? Because Sade was wearing light colored pants along with a light color underwear that was recovered.
Then they saw this one, a black woman with a cream-colored sweater like the one Robinson was wearing that night, laying face down on a couch like the one in Anderson's living room. The image shows a hand grabbing her exposed breast.
Which breast is exposed? Left or right?
Believe the right.
The jury knows from previous testimony, Robinson's right breast was severed from her torso.
I don't know if she's alive or dead or sleeping. I can't tell from this photo.
A digital forensic investigator testifying what happens around 12:05 a.m. to some of the images on Anderson's phone.
Based on the time frame and when the phone itself actually has in the actual timeline itself, the next actions that happen within that system is deletion.
The expert says Anderson's phone not used the rest of those early morning hours.
So from 12:08 a.m. to 8:59 a.m., are you saying that there was no human user manipulation of the phone?
Yes, there was absolutely no human user interaction.
The defense,
people delete photos for a variety of reasons, right?
Correct.
glossing over the deleted images, but focusing on what the phone analysis did not show.
And you didn't see any searches regarding how to, dismember a body, correct?
I did not.
Or you didn't see any searches about how to clean up blood, correct?
I did not.
Or how to dispose of a body, right?
Correct, I did not.
1 week after Sade's leg was found at Warnemont Park in Cudahy, investigators say a regular person who was walking the beach found several pairs of gloves that had blood on them. We also heard from several detectives who searched Maxwell Anderson's house. In the house, they found, in the kitchen alone, 51 knives. They also said that they found knives in other parts of the house, including his bedroom. Investigators showed us pictures of these knives, and they showed us a picture of a gun that was found inside his house. Last week, I showed you this video of Maxwell Anderson getting on the bus. Investigators say this was after he set Sade's car on fire. Notice the hoodie that he's wearing. A week after this, investigators say they found that exact same hoodie in a trash can 2 doors down from Anderson's house. The defense argued that a weeks-long time lapse doesn't substantiate that it is Maxwell Anderson's jacket. Investigators say in that hoodie they found a Bic lighter, 3 matchboxes, and a Swiss Army knife. With all of those items found, investigators testified that they did not find fingerprints or DNA on them. Tuesday ended with prosecutors showing surveillance video from Maxwell Anderson's across-the-street neighbor. The video camera points at Maxwell Anderson's house, and in it, you can see 2 figures arriving at Anderson's house on April 1st after 9 p.m. Hours later, you then see one person leave the house and what prosecutors say get into Sade Robinson's car and drive away. As always, you can.
So here's the moment, April 4th, when law enforcement pulled over Maxwell just blocks away from his home, and a hoodie he had in his car matched the same hoodie of the suspect that torched Sade's car. So they got him right on the spot. Right now, the defense attorney was all mentioning that Maxwell phone show any lookup for blood cleanup or dismemberment. They didn't have to see that. This man clearly did this. He is guilty for taking that beautiful lady life. Maxwell knew not to use his phone during those hours. It was all a part of his plan. He already had it all set out. And Sheriff Detective Joanne Donner, she walked the beach of Warnemont Park a couple dozen times, as well as Maxwell's ex-girlfriend Chloe testified of they used to visit that beach where Sade Robinson's leg was found. Anderson called it his secret beach, which is so disturbing. Sheriff Detective Joanne Donner mentioned that when she walked that beach those couple dozen times, she was talking to Sade, and she said, if there's anything else, if there's something she can guide me to help me figure this out or to piece more together. Was like, we're still missing her head, and Donner is in hopes to find it, and not a civilian or a family member. Donner's compassion of seeking justice for Sade is so beautiful. Detective Donner also wished she had more footage of Anderson driving the vehicle, but I feel she have enough evidence as it is. Detective Donner said if she can ask Maxwell any question, she'll ask where did he put her head, at least to narrow down the search. She'll also have a lot of other questions as well. Donner says she also hopes she did a good job for Sade, and she left a tribute. That's where she met and wanted to say her goodbye to Sade. Maxwell Anderson remains at the Milwaukee County Jail. He is scheduled to be sentenced on August 15, 2025. And it is justice for SADE Robinson, a beautiful young lady that did not deserve any of this. And we will be keeping on top of everything with this case. Till next time, make sure you click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Justice for SADE.